everyone, welcome to Wicked.west.books. My name is Meg West, and I did not post a video last Thursday, and the reason for that being that I was sick. I had almost no voice, and when I was talking, I was also coughing and sniffling a lot. So I'm putting this up today, and you will also get Thursday's video on Thursday. I bought a lot of books during the month of June, and I was given 4 as well, and I just realized I forgot one. Okay. Now they're all in a pile. And so today I'm going to be doing a video over all the books that I bought and the ones that I was given. The ones I was given were from my husband because during the month of June we have been together for 6 years. And so the standard gift giving process for me is to give me more books, and that's what I got. So let's go ahead and jump into them. I am going to start with those anniversary gifts. So the first one I have to show you is To Hold the Bridge by Garth Nix. This is a short story and a lot of short stories by Garth Nix. To Hold a Bridge takes place in the same world as the Abhorsen trilogy, which are these ones right up here. And it's one of my favorite trilogies of all time, and it has one of my favorite characters of all time. I love Mogget to absolute pieces. He's a talking cat, and it's amazing. The next 2 books go together, and they were the first one I put in my cart when I was picking out a lot of books for my husband to choose from to buy for me, and that is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell and Carry On. I have only ever read one Rainbow Rowell book in my entirety, and that was Eleanor and Park, and I did really like it. It was a hard issue to cover, and I thought it was covered well, and I just wasn't overly impressed by it, so I wasn't in a rush to buy them, but I felt that it was about time that I got into some more of her stuff, and so I have the contemporary novel, which is Fangirl, and of course Carry On, which is the, I believe, fan fiction that the main character writes during Fangirl. This next book I got because I believe book 2 is coming out soon, and there is Little Book Owl and Kiera our Twitter to try and get the US arc of the second book, and they're just showing so much love for the next book in the series that I want to be ready for it, and it really convinced me to pick it up, and that book is Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. I didn't know anything about it when I asked for it as an anniversary present, except that Little Book Owl and Pierre Ford were very desperate to get their hands on a specific copy of the arc for the second book, which I believe is called God's Grave. And just the amount of attention they're giving to this book really made me want to read it, so I asked for it and I got a copy. Besides, who doesn't love a book with assassins in it? Okay, so I got one book from where I work, which is Walmart, and I saw it sitting on the shelf, and I really couldn't say no, even if it was middle grade, and I don't read a lot of middle grade, and I do actually want to go back to school to do this in a more advanced way, so I figured buying this book and reading it wouldn't hurt my cause. Everything you need to ace English language arts in one big fat notebook. It's a complete middle school study guide to English with notes borrowed from the smartest kid in class and double checked by an award-winning teacher. And basically it's just a lot of, it's got a unit on grammar, language, reading fiction, reading nonfiction, and then the final section is over writing, and I thought that this would be a really, really fun book to go through, so I had to pick it up the same day I saw it sitting on the shelves. And everything else I got from a used bookstore that is going out of business, which is very sad. There is another location in the area, and they're just going to move everything over to that one so that it's one location. And I am very sad that it's closing out because I really liked this bookstore, but they slashed their already half price in half again, so I got these next 10 books for $25. I went all out and I didn't tell myself no for anything, really. If I wanted it, I added it to my pile. The first book that I picked up probably won't surprise too many of you if you know what my favorite book is, and it had a box set for $6, and that's $2 a book because it's a 3-book series, and I had to get it. I had to. This is the shiny editions of Philip Pullman's His Dark Materials. All 3 books are in there, and these books are shiny. It's also an edition of The Golden Compass that I don't already own, so when I saw it for basically $2 and I would get another copy of the rest of the series, there was no way I could say no to that, because anytime I see a new copy of The Golden Compass, if I can afford it, I'm going to buy it. The next book I have to show you was actually recommended to me by one of my viewers in the comment section on the last video I posted over romance cures reading slumps, and it's one of her favorite romance novels that she reads when she's in a reading slump, and so I looked for it and found it and bought it. It's a bit more pink than I was expecting. I'm not going to judge the romance book based on the fact that the cover is very pink, though. I have not read The Devil Who Tamed Her, but I have read Johanna Lindsey, and I do enjoy her writing style, and I'm actually looking forward to this. I don't know anything too specific about this book other than it's a romance novel, what my mother calls a bodice ripper, and that's all I really felt that I needed for it. These next 4 books are all by the same author, and it was the same author that I mentioned in the last video over romance novels, because I've been in a romance novel mood lately. So, I have read one book by Catherine Coulter that is romance, and it was my first one, so I decided I wanted to pick up others. And when I saw that section, and the fact that they were $2 a piece, So all by Catherine Coulter, all historical romance, and really truly, I have no idea what any of these are about. Wizard's Daughter, The Deception, Midsummer Magic, and Pendragon. Really truly, the only thing I know about these books before buying them is that they are written by Catherine Coulter and that they are historical fiction, romance novels, and although apparently Wizard's Daughter is about a girl who loses her memory and then finds, I'm guessing it's a book of magic, and can read it just fine. In The Deception, a guy hires a nanny who turns out to be his future wife, and she's got a secret. This one is the first book in a trilogy over magic, where the girl tries to pick a guy out of choosing her for marrying. He picks her, and it says it's a battle of the sexes, so this should be fun. And this story is about a girl named Maggie who gets courted and taken to Ireland, and that should be fun to read. And since I read the backs of those, the back of this one says that a guy loses a bet on if he can ever get the girl, and I'm guessing he wins the bet and gets the girl. So, that actually sounds like it would be a pretty fun thing to read. Okay, 2 more books left, and they are nonfiction, which is not something I do a whole lot of. One of my non-bookish, I don't want to call it an obsession, but kind of a fascination, happens to be caves. I love caves. They are one of my favorite things, and going spelunking is one of my favorite activities, and I don't even care if I get dirty. Normally I do care, and then there's bats and caves. Speleology? I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I've never heard the word out loud. It's just written down, and it's just basically going over caves in the cave environment. And it's full of lots of science-y graphs and very tiny pictures, and honestly it kind of looks like a school book over caves, and I did start going to college for biology, so I think I can actually get a lot of information out of this book, and it would be kind of fun to just know more about caves. And the final book that I picked up is one that my friend Heather handed to me as a joke, and then when I actually read to her what it was, she said, if you don't buy it, I will buy it. And of course, I had to buy it. Dr. Tatiana's Sex Advice to All Creation. This book is written kind of like an advice column in a newspaper where an insect, mainly, I'm assuming, writes in a complaint or a question, and Dr. Tatiana answers it. This is a unique guidebook to sex. It reveals, for example, when necrophilia is acceptable and who should commit bestiality with whom. It discloses the best time to have a sex change, how to have a virgin birth, and when to eat your lover. It also advises on more mundane matters, such as male pregnancy and the joys of a detachable penis. Funny, quirky, and wonderfully informative, this book compromises letters from all creatures worried about their bizarre sex life to the wise Dr. Tatiana, aka Olivia Judson, who is the actual author of this book. I'm going to learn so much about animal sex lives from this, and I'm not even sorry about it. I think this will be hilarious and informative, and again, I'm really feeling the biology at the moment, and the English. I need to go back to school. So yes, those are the 15 books that I picked up during the month of June, and I'm really sorry that this video was late, but I was, as I said, sick, and I stayed in bed instead. So I am feeling much better, and I will be back on my regular video upload schedule. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about any of the books, please leave them in the comments below. I love to hear what you guys have to say. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, and feel free to subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. I post videos every Thursday, and some days that are not Thursday, or else I lose books. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wicked day.